right, Recession Indicator 3. Well, we're going to talk, this one's not so much an indicator of recession, but an indicator of what happens during a recession. People tell me or ask me, what's going to happen with interest rates as we near the recession and as we're in a recession? The truth is, rates are going to keep going down. I might shoot myself in the foot and people say, you're losing business by telling people that rates are going to keep going down. But it's the truth. And the truth is the truth, and that's it. Let's look at this chart. You can see every time we've hit a recession, rates have gone down. As you can see here, from 16% to 11.75 in the 80s, 18 to 13. By the way, whenever you hear someone who's older than me, I guess you could say it depends, it's on your reference point. Somebody that was an adult through the 80s, and if they say, I remember when rates were 18%, right, they were. If we see 18% now with the values that we have, our housing market is going to crash. Our entire economy is going to crash. So if anyone says, well, I remember when they were this high, guess what? It's not going to happen. Not anytime in the next decade or two. So let's go back to this. Every time there was a recession, the 30-year fixed rate dropped. It dropped. It dropped. Now, this has nothing to do with the Fed rate. The Fed fund rate. When the Fed comes out and says we're dropping interest rates, that's adjustable rates, not fixed rates. But during a recession, what does the Fed do? The Fed needs to stimulate the economy. How does the Fed stimulate the economy? Well, think of it this way. If you have money in the bank and you're making 5% on that money, you're less likely to take that money out and spend it. You're like, my money's making money. But if you have money in the bank and you're making 1% on that money, you're more likely to take that money out and spend it. So what does the Fed do when the economy is stagnating, when people aren't spending? That's what happens in a recession. People aren't spending because they're scared, because they hear bad news, and because they hear that the stock market's going down, so it exacerbates like a snowball. So to stop that, they say, oh, let's lower the rates. Let's lower these adjustable rates, which means they're lowering the rates that the bank borrow from the Fed, so the bank can give you a discount, and now you go out and spend. By everyone spending, all of a sudden, oh, look, we're out of a recession. And then the president, whoever it is at the time, says, I did this. I did this. The other party, they messed it all up. It's stupidity. It's always the same thing. We're going to hear it now in the next election too. But it's really economics. What the president does have an effect. It's a small effect, let's say 1/100th of everything that happens to affect an economy. So we know 30-year fixed rates go down. We know adjustable rates go down. So guess what? Interest rates are going down in the recession. My refinance boom is not happening now. Other people who aren't educating their clients, their refinance boom is now. My refinance boom, I think, is going to be next year or the year after, where a lot of people are going to come out and refinance. Hopefully it's you that's thinking about it and saying, this nerd here, I'm going to listen to him and I'm going to refi with him later. So that's Recession Indicator. I can't remember the number, but there's more videos coming. Thanks, Mortgage Nerd out.